Welcome to Liesel's Artistic Studio. Today I'm going to show you how to draw a realistic looking iris that can be displayed just as a beautiful drawing, or you can use it as a base sketch for a painting. All we need to get started is a piece of paper and a pencil with an eraser. Let's start forming the upper petals of the flower, starting at the center top of the page. This first petal will be basically in the shape of a fat semicircle. Now, something to keep in mind is that all of these flower petals will be bumpy and ruffly, so don't worry so much about having straight lines. Once your petal is sketched in, add a ruffle off to the right side. Then make 2 or 3 smaller asymmetrical shapes for what will be the inner part of the flower. Then add another fat semicircle on the left side, leaning in towards the middle. Now add a ruffled lip to this petal. Next, you can add a hint of a third petal in the background. Now it's time to add 3 base petals. Just follow along with me as I go and feel free to pause or rewind if you need to. Now we're going to add what's called the beard to a couple of these petals. This is a fuzzy and furry looking thing in real life, so rather than straight lines for this, I'll draw these with short lines that slant slightly outward and are drawn close together. Now that our flower is done, let's add the stem and a couple of spots where flowers have grown out from. Next, let's add a bud under the main flower onto the lower portion of the stem. And to make the bud look a little more realistic, you can add a few curved lines onto the bud for some detail. Now, if you want to, you can add another stem with a bud off to the right side of the original flower. Now the last thing I'm going to do to my drawing is add the thick pointy greenery or leaves that surround the iris. Try to draw them with different thicknesses and heights to make your drawing more interesting. I also just noticed I forgot to add some lines on my second bud, so I'm going to go back in and do that really quick. And if you intend to leave this as a drawing, you can also add a few lines on the flowered iris petals. You can also retrace your drawing with a fine point marker to give it a really finished look. And here is your beautiful hand-drawn iris. And don't be afraid to try this drawing over again if it didn't turn out right the first time. Practice makes perfect. Make sure you don't miss my next tutorial where I will teach you how to paint this iris step by step. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, please consider subscribing to my channel so I can continue to help you discover your artistic side.